We all know the classic. We all know the classic William Shakespeare story of Romeo and Juliet. You know, it's about these two teenagers who are in love, but their parents hate each other. So they're like, well, if our parents can't reason with us, we'll just kill ourselves then. And that's what happens. And I think, in my opinion, is like the most famous Shakespeare story of all time. Like every single time you ask someone, "Hey, what's your favorite Shakespeare story?" There's like a 90% chance they're gonna say, my favorite Shakespeare story is Romeo and Juliet." Like ask someone, and then there's like a 9 out of 10 chance they're gonna say Romeo and Juliet. What about the other 1%? They're probably gonna say Hamlet because they watched The Lion King. But anyways, yeah, Romeo and Juliet is the most famous one, right? But what if Trauma put it in the mix? You know, what if Trauma put a little bit of blood, and gore, nudity into the mix? Huh? Then the world will be one big collided hug. Yeah, I watched Romeo and Juliet, and yeah, this is another one of Trauma's hits. Like based on the people, I don't think it did financially well, but a lot of people are talking about this movie, and this is a lot of people's favorite Trauma movie. So back at it again then. So Romeo and Juliet follows Romeo Q and Juliet. I forgot her last name. I'm sorry, Camulet. And their parents run an adult film business, and they like each other, but the parents hate each other. So class fair. But this time their family is more vile. You got Sammy Capulet who wants to make out with his sister Georgia Capulet, and you're like, what? And Georgie is played by Sean Gunn, famously known for playing Kraglin in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. I think that's the thing. Yeah, Kraglin. And he was also the motion capture actor for Weasel in the Suicide Squad. So yay! Now, at first I thought James Gunn directed this, but it turns out he co-wrote the movie with Lloyd Kaufman, and Lloyd Kaufman directed it. So yeah, go figure. And if it wasn't for Trauma, and if it wasn't for this movie, it probably wouldn't have kick-started James Gunn's career. You know. The next video I'm going to make is why Trauma is. After I review Cannibal the musical, I'm going to tell you why Trauma is important. So anyway, what did I like about this movie? First off, the Trauma campiness. Every single time there's a Trauma movie, you're not expecting it to be a 100% masterpiece. There's gonna be vile. It's gonna be gross. It's gonna be offensive. And of course, one of the things you're gonna know is that it's gonna be campy, and it has all the Trauma hallmarks. It's gross. It's vile. It's campy. It's rude. It's offensive. It's everything, and it has great special effects. Another thing I did like is the twist at the end, which I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm going to, let that secret. And there is some character, and I like some of the character interactions, and I like some of the character interactions with them, and I like how some of them have like that goofy charm, and that they all speak in that "hey ragtag dude," kind of thing. Which I'm not a big fan of the dialogue, but the way they use it in this movie is kind of fitting for me. And another thing that I like is that the scenes whenever Julius with her dad are kind of scary. Not that they see you down your spine because of the way the dad acts, and you're like, ugh. You're like he's like a disgusting person. And what about the cons of this movie? Well, the cons of this movie is that there are some unnecessary vile scenes in this movie. Like I know that's what Trauma does, but I was like, why does that have to be in place? Like what does this serve? What does this purpose serve? And another thing that I don't like about this movie is that they did show a wild animal die. Like, and not in the movie. I'm talking about like in real life. Like they show an actual animal dying in this film. So, for entertainment, I guess. But those are all really my cons. I really enjoyed this movie. I had fun with it. It's a trauma movie. I love having fun with those movies. And overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. I would recommend for you to watch this movie. And you're wondering, what happened to the not serious and serious scale? Well, I just figured that I don't want to do public's opinions anymore. I just want these movies to now be my opinion. So yeah. Anyways, the movie's campy. The movie's vile. And it has a nice little twist on the classic William Shakespeare story. And now, what movie am I gonna cover next on Trauma Arch? I'm gonna cover Cannibal the Musical from directed, written, and starring the co-creator of South Park, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone also plays one of the residents in that movie. So yeah, stay tuned. And also, yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't posted for 4 days. You know, I was trying to do something new. I did my DVD Blu-ray collection. And I watched the new Budokai Tenkaichi 4 trailer, and I had to, watch Romeo and Juliet in my spare time. So anyways, see ya for the Cannibal the Musical review. Stay tuned.